Now, here's one of my favorite tricks in lead guitar. Today, I want to introduce to you the concept of passing through scales via chord shapes. It's not a very wild concept if you think about it, it's right in your face, but given the plethora of finger exercises we are hopefully doing, I mean, they're useful, it's good to have some stuff to counterweight it, so to speak. To make this easy for most of you guys, I'm gonna start off simple with the pentatonic scale in A minor. They can follow more easily. And basically, one thing you probably all have done here is to drop in groups in 3, 4, groups of 4 maybe and stuff. Maybe you've even tried to go move in intervals, which goes closer to where we are moving. But the thing with most of these exercises is that they are motoric training. They do not necessarily tell a story yet. And this is where chords come in. Ultimately, we're always in a conversation with the harmonies when we play melodies. They're always one. And it really helps to visualize some chord progressions on the fretboard while playing your solos. And if you have some routine with that, even while improvising. Let's say, for instance, I have a track, bass and drums here. Now, of course, I just wiggle around the scale for a while, but one thing, especially when writing solos, that can be super useful is to just have a listen which chord possibilities really work here. Let's say, of course, A minor works over A minor, 50th fret. But there are also some suspended chords hidden in there. They can have a really nice color. Now with 2 bars A minor, 1 bar sus chord here, 1 bar a sus chord here. What I can do now is to spread these chords out into smaller melodies or arpeggios. Same old pentatonic. What did I do? I took chord colors and made them move. Simple as that in theory. How can you do this yourself? You just grab any scale you have and pile notes on top of each other. And then play melodies around them. Let's try something else now. I play the same track again. And let's say I have to plan I start low and move up high. A classical move when writing solos. So I need a low chord where I start and a higher chord where I move to. Let's say, hold and behold. A power chord. Let's say maybe I like that one. So what did I do now in detail? I took my chords, here was on 5-7-7, an A power chord, and then just 3 notes, 7th fret, 3 notes, 5th fret. Technically that's an A sus4, C major, and G sus4, but really, if all the stuff I'm saying right now makes no sense, don't worry about it. If you don't know what the chords are named, you've just gotta feel them a bit more, listen to them a bit more, and at the end of the day that matters more. Anyways, so I took those shapes here, brought them back home to the root. And what did I do? Build melodies, moving through them. Slide up to the 1 here, slide down. And once I'm up there, I have retail for. Put some blues licks in there, because the great thing is that if you alternate solo concepts with each other, they keep each other fresh. So you can play classic blues licks in one area, then arpeggios and chord phrases in another one. Let's listen again, and this time try really to focus on how they connect with each other. Blueprint is, let's go for the one. Where's half for each. Could probably loop this on top, but I don't really need to anymore because of melodies. Now this whole thing tells a story. And that's a very simple trick. If you know your patterns, all you have to do is sit down and pile notes on top of each other, maybe journal down which of them you like, which of them sound cool to you, and then connect them. And once you have these chord places or chord spaces in place, you can start to go crazier and crazier with them. Another concept I really like to do with scales is to just use chromaticisms to break out of them. You know, all the scale boxes don't have to be locked, meaning that it's like a sealed box you're not allowed to go out of. Of course you can go out of the boxes. The only problem is that most people don't know how to get back once they are out, and then they get lost. Well, with these chord tricks, you won't be lost for long because we're building tiny bridges that lead from one logical place to another. Let's do it in slow-mo without the drums first. First two chords. I could go. Now, of course, this sounds like a Caribbean holiday now. Happens. I'm gonna do it anyways. So basically, what did I do? I started with the power chord, and then at the end of my phrase, I started one. I just cram in a chromatic line, bringing me to the start of the next chord. Then again, semitone steps, move down to that chord, back to sus, and here. Now, we are not within a pentatonic anymore, technically. But this is such a brief moment where we bridge it that the easiest way to think about it is that you are around in the pentatonic box and you just gradually open it up a bit and go back. A bit like an in-out concept, so to speak. Let's try the context. Again, switching. And suddenly you can break up the scale into smaller movements and come back again. Chords are super useful on holding everything together and giving you the creative space to really explore around with them. Now, this was all in close position within an octave to keep things a bit more simple. But of course, if you have the technique and you have the time, you can also connect way bigger voicings that way and get way more unpredictable lines. Just keep in mind that in busy arrangements, this might not work so well because you're gradually standing behind other people. But here, with bass and a guitar, I can go pretty wild without having any danger of getting lost in the sound. So let's take some open position chords, shall we? Let's say, for instance, we'll start with A. You know, always helps to start with a tonic, establishes the root and stuff. Let's say these two. And a nice sussy D at the end. How could we connect these lines? Of course, we could say we move from low string to high string. Zack. Boom. Like up there. And it sounds way more spacey because we occupy more space. Let's see how it sounds here, and if I can pull it off. Yeah, right. Instinctively, I rhythmically displaced it a bit. That was just like happy accident, you could say. But this was an interesting solo. I could, for instance, really imagine this coming out of a verse. You call it response thing again. And of course, it works nicely with classic blues pentatonic lines again, because it still is the pentatonic. So you can really go crazy with that. The only thing that will be some effort for you is to find the chord spaces and be able to identify them with the scale. If you have never done this before, this will come a bit tricky, but lucky for you, I actually have a course where I in a streamlined way teach you step by step how to find that stuff, connect stuff like that, and really open up the pentatonic scale. And all the skills you find in there, you can use actually to unlock any other scale. If you followed me around for a bit, I've been doing this now for a couple of weeks, just taking scales, seeing how many chords I can find, seeing how many melodies I can find. A bit like a personal challenge, and I would encourage you to do the same. Because of course you don't have to like what I play and how I play. You can do whatever you want with this, and it's really applying to any kind of genre. If you're more into heavy metal or more into reggae or more into jazz, they all use chords. They all use a mixture of simultaneous and sequential notes. And if you really manage to think of those two areas as one, you're set to move and play in ways you probably didn't know were possible before. All right, that was it for this week. Have a good one playing. See you around. Thanks for your time.